the European crisis, which is getting worse and worse since 2015, deeper and deeper. The shift to the right, to fascism, to racism, to xenophobia, the subjugation to Washington and NATO and the United States of the whole of Europe. This is one story. These are not separate stories, one story. The decline, permanent decline of Europe, and it's drifting in a reactionary, misanthropic direction. It's soul-destroying what's happening. Because you see, the problem, it's not, if only that were the problem, that is a symptom. What happens is we have two kinds of authoritarianism, two kinds of malignancies, if you want. We have the authoritarianism of the so-called liberal establishment in Brussels, in Paris, in Germany. They're extremely authoritarian. When I was the finance minister of Greece, I saw them in action. They talk about democracy, but they hate democracy. The one nightmare that they have is actual democracy. The people who talk about democracy are the ones who are working very hard to ensure that democracy is a system that legitimizes whatever it is that they do. But if the people, the demos, go against what they want, they just completely annul it. It's propaganda that they care about democracy. So you've got this authoritarian liberal center. And then you've got the reaction to that, which is the fascist, racist, xenophobic, ultra-right. But these two, which appear as enemies, are essentially the two different sides of exactly the same coin. They are symbiotic with one another. I'll give you a very specific example. Take the president of France, Emmanuel Macron. I know him personally. He's fine. I actually quite liked him when we used to talk and exchange ideas and so on. But he's the representation of this liberal authoritarian establishment. He sounds very liberal, very democratic, but he's head of a government that is, as we speak, it is presiding over pogroms against French citizens of an ethnic Arab background. They introduce laws by which they can take away your citizenship if you're an Arab French person without you knowing it. No rule of law. This is what the ultra-right are proposing. Why are the Europeans xenophobic all of a sudden? It's not that they suddenly decided that they're against the Arabs, the Chinese, the Muslims, and so on. No, it's because Europe is failing economically. Middle-class families are finding it very hard to make ends meet. They cannot see a future for their children, which is as good as the past that they had. So they're getting angry. And when the people get angry, it's really very easy for racists, xenophobes, to rise to the polls. All you have to do is get up and say it's the foreigners' fault, the Jews, the Muslims, the Chinese. That's the easiest way of gaining support at a time when the majority, are suffering, are struggling, when you have recession.